Hello, my friend. This is Victor Piccini, and welcome to the Be Seen and Heard Journey.
Videos and audios that will empower
you. Hey, it's Victor. I want to welcome you to another Be Seen and Heard Journey. Thanks for being with me today. Today's topic is called healthy healing, and I want to connect it to the term coping. See, when I think of coping, a lot of times I think of how people do it in a negative way. In fact, in my experience of being sexually abused, I coped in a very negative way for many, many years. One way I coped was staying silent. Another way I coped with my abuse was to not hang out with a lot of friends. Another way that I coped when I was in high school, and this is very personal, I used to cut my wrists with an X-Acto knife. And again, it's very uncomfortable to talk about it, but I'm putting it out there. That's what I did. And I realized through counseling that I was cutting myself not to bleed, but to mask the pain that I was experiencing from my abuse. So I was creating a new pain by masking the past pain that was still bothering me. And I think that's what we do. That's what people do. I'm not saying that they get to that extreme, but then people cope by drinking and taking drugs. But today I want to flip the switch, and I want to talk about how do people cope in a positive way. See, I really believe the very moment I made the decision that I did not want to live in the pain anymore of my abuse, of all the adversities in my life, quite honestly, was the day that my coping turned into a way of healthy healing, of self-care. And let me explain. So when I started going to counseling, she started having me do exercises. And one of them was to write a letter to my abuser. And she said, don't worry, we're not going to send it to him, but I want you to write everything that's on your mind, get it out there. And so I did. And that started not only my journey into healthy healing, but it also started my journey into writing. And the writing turned into poems, and the poems turned into songs. And all of this started for me. Now, you don't have to be an artist or a musician to cope in a positive way. Some people love to work out, so they go for a run to cope with what's going on in their lives. See, we can make choices. And some things that I did in college that went from when I was away the first time, when I was living with the pain of my abuse, I was isolating myself, to when I started going to counseling and I went back to college, I started doing projects that connected me with my past pain. I used my past pain to create something powerful out of it. So all my projects were based on sexual abuse public service announcements, and then I did a portrait of my father reading his Alcoholics Anonymous book, because my dad became a recovering alcoholic, and so I was actually so excited to create out of my pain, and I was so passionate about it that I actually ended up doing really well in college because I really connected with that. So this week is all about coping. And I'm going to ask you, where are you in your life? And is there a way that you can take something negative and flip it? We call it flipping the switch. And I then ultimately say, create out of that pain. Decide, own it. Don't blame yourself. Own it. Find the opportunity. What's the lesson in what's hurting you? Now, this is a process, but what's the lesson that's hurting you? And then create. Cope in a positive way out of that pain and move yourself into healthy healing, into self-care. And it's a journey, and that's what life's all about. I want to thank you so much for being with me today. And remember, everyone has the right to be seen and heard. See you next time.
Hey, my friend, I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Be Seen and Heard Journey. If you'd like to follow me, please go to youtube.com/Victor Piccini or instagram.com/Childhood Victories, or head over to facebook.com/Childhood Victories, or visit my website, victorpiccini.com. Please share this with your friends and family, and until next time, Be Seen and Heard.